Hey everyone, welcome to my ultimate guide to moving to Nashville in 2024. Whether you're just considering making the move or you've already got your bags packed, today I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know. So stay tuned. Tiffany Gudger here with Tiffany Gudger Real Estate right here in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee. Just real quick, if this is your first time to my channel, thanks so much for coming by. I'm happy to have you here. If you are a returner, I really appreciate you as well. I am a local real estate agent, and while I love doing these videos for you guys, real estate is my #1 passion, and I really enjoy just helping people kind of change their lives and buy the biggest purchase of their lives most of the time. So yeah, I love making these videos and I love meeting all of you guys that watch them. If you're new, I usually have some notes or anything just so I make sure I remember the main points I want to talk about. If you are considering moving or relocating here, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. However you want to get a hold of me is awesome. I would love to help. I am the one that answers the phones, so you will be hearing from me directly. That aside, as mentioned before, we are going to talk about a complete relocation guide. Now, there's a lot to this, so without going on for an hour or two, I'm going to kind of sum it up into, like 8 sections or so that we're going to talk about briefly. And then I have other videos where I either have or will elaborate on that in the future. I'll reference several of those in this video, so you haven't seen any of them. I'll also tag them down below, but make sure you go check them out. And I will, like I said, I'll mention them as we go through things today. So the first thing I want to talk about today is cost of living. The cost of living in Nashville, Tennessee is about 5% more than the national averages, but about 16% higher than the state average. Housing prices are really the only thing that makes the big difference. The median home price here is about $450,000 to $500,000. It has gone up year over year for the last 4 years pretty significantly. So if that's something you want to know more about, please reach out and we'll go over that. It's about $1,500 to $2,000 a month to have an apartment in the city. Which can seem very astronomical, but it is what it is. People want to be in Nashville, so you kind of got to pay the price for that. Healthcare, groceries, all of that is about the same as the rest of the country. Groceries maybe just a little higher. Healthcare is about the same, which is great because we have great healthcare here. So overall, it's about the same as anywhere else other than the actual housing market. But that means that if you're moving from somewhere like, San Diego or New York or these other really big cities that are higher than the national average, if you come to Nashville, which is why so many people are, it's going to feel very inexpensive because you can take a portion of the salary you're making before and essentially have more bring home. And so you'll see a lot of people moving to Nashville because we have a lot of great things to offer that these other big cities do as well. And especially as more jobs are becoming work from home, a lot of people are figuring out they can live in Nashville for cheaper and still enjoy all that Nashville has to offer. So that being said, yeah, cost of living about the same as the rest of the country. You just have a lot more to do and more expensive houses. The next thing I want to mention is the neighborhoods. So when you move to Nashville, we have a bunch of different neighborhoods. I've done videos on multiple of these as well as some suburbs. So make sure you can go check out that list of videos if you want to know more about specific neighborhoods because Nashville has a ton of them. Just to briefly touch on them, I think there really is something for everyone. There's farmland around here if you want it. There's city living if you want it. Just to name a few of the Nashville neighborhoods, we have East Nashville, which is known for its eclectic vibe, and it's popular among artists, musicians, young professionals, has historic homes as well as modern development, and a great food and art scene. The next one I want to talk about is the Gulch. The Gulch actually kind of years and years and years ago used to be a place you didn't really go, but they've completely redone it. It's trendy, upscale, centrally located, has modern high-rise apartments, trendy restaurants, a bunch of boutique shops, a vibrant nightlife, and is a neighborhood that's more popular, I would say, with young professionals. Another neighborhood I want to mention is 12 South, a hip and walkable neighborhood with a mix of bungalows and new construction, has trendy shops, cafes, restaurants, and is another area that is popular among young professionals and young families. Next is going to be Germantown. Germantown, I've definitely done a video on this one as well. It is one of Nashville's oldest neighborhoods. It's known for its Victorian architecture, tree-lined streets, and all of the dining options. It's a historic area that has seen a lot of revitalization in, more recent years. It's where our Nashville Sound Stadium is, which is our local baseball team, and a bunch of restaurants and bars. And I actually really enjoy the Germantown area. Another neighborhood I want to mention is Sylvan Park. Sylvan Park is a family-friendly area. It offers a suburban feel, but also is close to downtown. It has a lot of charming kind of style homes, local restaurants, and a really popular McCabe Park where people like to go and hang out. And there's a golf course out there and that kind of thing. So Sylvan Park, great for families. I also want to mention Hillsborough Village, which is located near Vanderbilt University. It is really popular for, again, young professionals and students. And like most places, has lots of great dining and shops. And it actually has a good mix of new and historic homes. There's also the ever popular Green Hills neighborhood, which is more of a affluent neighborhood, kind of known for the good schools, the bigger houses, luxury shopping, Green Hills Mall, that kind of thing. It's more of a family neighborhood with lots of shops and businesses on the high end or higher end luxury boutique also kind of feel. And then one last one I want to mention is Donaldson, which is kind of the opposite side of town. It's near the airport, but you can get a little more bang for your buck out there. Is more for families and that kind of thing, and is a little more on the outskirts of town. So what is that, like 8 places really quickly that I wanted to mention to you, and there are so many more. So that is just a brief overview of some neighborhoods to look into for your 2024 moving to Nashville guide. The next thing I want to talk about is the job market and the economy here. If you are moving for work or relocating here for work, Nashville has a booming economy right now. So here in Nashville, the major employers include Vanderbilt University, Nissan, HCA Healthcare, a bunch of other different schools and things like that. Healthcare, technology, education, music and entertainment. Those are some of our biggest employers and industries here in Nashville, with, I would say, construction and real estate and hospitality and tourism being pretty close up there as well. Nashville is just really, really growing. A lot of businesses are coming here because they're realizing that they can bring companies here and the cost of living is less. They can pay their people the same amount of money, but be able to afford more. Like it's just a really good place and makes a lot of financial sense for a lot of big companies. And so they're starting to figure that out. We have an international airport, which makes travel for a lot of these companies easy. So I would say the job market here is just booming, and the economy in and of itself is actually doing really well. The next thing I want to discuss with you is some real estate tips. So whether you are moving here from somewhere else or you already live here, here's a couple tips for you guys. So if you are thinking of buying a home here, make sure you get yourself a good realtor, a good local realtor. I hope it's me, but if it's not, please make sure they are local and they know the market well, because the market here is constantly changing and it might even be different from what you think it is. So make sure and get a good local realtor. And before you even really start looking at houses, this is something I stress to all my clients and it works out for the best every time, is drive around, get a feel for the areas. Don't waste your time looking at houses in places that you're not even sure you want to live yet. Because those houses, say you fall in love with one, well, by the time you decide if you want to be in that city or not, they're going to be gone anyway. So pick the areas that fit what you're looking for the best and then narrow them down and then start to actually look at specific houses. Now, if you're looking to rent, the rental market here is crazy. So if you see something you like, and you think you might even like that area and you know you like the house, jump on those very quickly, because if they're priced well for the rental market, they'll get gone. If you have any more questions about the real estate tips and stuff, of course, let me know. I have a whole spiel full of tips that I love to give people when they call me if they want to hear them. Again, my name, number, and email and all that stuff will be at the end of the video as well as in the description. Next thing I want to talk about in our guide to moving to Nashville in the Middle Tennessee area is education in schools. The education is usually a top priority for families moving here. Nashville is actually home to top public and private schools. I personally think that going to greatschools.org is a very, very good way to do your own research on what kind of schools fit the criteria that you are looking for. If higher education is important to you, we have nationally ranked Vanderbilt, Belmont, we have Lipscomb, MTSU, which is Middle Tennessee State University, and lots of options for advanced schooling as well. Next, with our moving guide is, what is there to do in Nashville anyway? We know there's country music. We know it's Music City, USA, and I actually did another video on the 27 things to do in Nashville that people have seemed to really appreciate, so make sure you go check that one out. But Nashville is more than just Broadway and honky tonks and country music. There is our Centennial Park that has the exact replica of the Greek Parthenon, to our malls, to the zoo, and art museums, and all kinds of things like that. There's the annual CMA Fest, as well as Tomato Fest in East Nashville. We have all kinds of annual events, so definitely make sure you do your research. If you ever have any questions on what different events there are out there, please reach out and I can help you as best as I can. Now, when it comes to transportation and commuting, Nashville is actually pretty easy to get around when compared to other big cities. We don't have any kind of subway system here. They've tried to pass it a couple times and it just hasn't gone through. But we do have a bus system and then a light rail that travels to a few different cities and towns over from Nashville that allows people to commute to work on the train. But other than that, it's mostly a commuter town. Most people drive their cars places. We do have pretty bad traffic during those rush hour and commuter hours, which usually last it's like 3 hours, like 7 to 10 or 6 to 9 around that time in the morning, and then anywhere from 3 to 6 or 4 to 7 in the evenings, just depending. But those main interstates between the suburbs and downtown can get pretty pretty congested during commuter and rush hour traffic. Next, I want to go over a pros and cons list, because what would a relocation guide be without a pros and cons list? I have several other videos that are nothing but a pro-con video, so definitely check those out. I do think that people find them really helpful. But in my opinion, some of the pros of Nashville, we have all 4 seasons. The job market and economy is doing really well. The people here are really friendly. There's tons to do. And I could, keep going on and on. I truly do love living here. I really do think there's something for everyone. Some of the cons for me is that it can be very humid. Currently right now here in July, it is hot and humid and kind of miserable outside. the like housing prices are continuing to just go up, and it is kind of expensive to buy a home here. And there's a few others, like, you know, not having a great transportation system and that kind of stuff. But I know I'm probably a little biased and you think I'm just supposed to say this, but I wouldn't live here if I didn't enjoy it. So I really do think that the pros do outweigh the cons, but definitely check out my list that have, you know, the same number of pros and the same number of cons that will really help you, I think, make your decision. Finally, I want to go over some moving tips and some resources for you. One resource, again, is a video I did that's nothing but moving tips, but some things to think about. Again, get you a great real estate agent. Do some research on a great moving company. If you need someone to pack up things for you or, you know, that kind of thing, you really want someone to take care of all your valuables, especially if you're moving across the country. So get you a good moving team. Transfer your utilities and make sure you take care of all of that before you get here, because there's nothing worse than showing up and being like, oh shoot, I forgot to have my water turned on. And then you have to wait because maybe it's the weekend and that kind of thing. As soon as you get here, I would really start to work on or make a priority getting your new Tennessee driver's license. There's a lot of other tips and tricks I can give you, but those are some of the main ones. Movers, that's a big one. Movers and utilities. I don't know why sometimes people think to forget about those things, but very, very important. That being said, I think that covers quite a bit for this moving and relocating to Nashville, Tennessee guide for 2024. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to know what you want to hear more about. If there's a video you feel like I haven't made that I should yet, you know, again, questions, comments. I love hearing from you guys. It really, really does make my day. And I appreciate you watching this video. I'll link all the other ones in the description below. And yeah, hope to hear from you guys. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, get a hold of me, whatever is the most convenient way for you. I would love to hear from you. And until the next video, we'll catch you later.